Hi, this is a cup handles and surface lecture. Really quick one going over ideas that might help you with this assignment. This is a piece that I think is really contemporary and historic at the same time. It's from the 5th century in Greece. And I like how these lines are on the surface of this, and you can think about the ideas around profile ribs that I showed you. This is another piece that's a Greek piece, and if you think about the cup as a vehicle to express things other than formal concerns, you can think about all the way around the cup as sort of like a frieze, and you can use imagery on the surface of your cup. This one happens to use terra or a fine particle slip. And sometimes, of course, the cup is sculpted into a shape and has imagery on it, like the bottom of this dog head here. This piece is from England, and it's the last resting place of King Richard III, the Blue Boar Inn. And it shows some surface work that is utilizing china painting techniques, tinware with china painting. This is a Lebon Cup that I like to drink out of a lot, and you can see the texture on it. If you think about it, you might even be able to see where it's from. It's from a meat tenderizer. The thing about a cup or any utilitarian piece is it's not really finished until it's in the hand. Here's one by Forrest Lech Middleton, and it's using some sort of decal technique where he's printed onto paper with iron oxide and then used that paper sort of like a decal. These are some of Victoria Christian's, and they are a myolica and color slip kind of technique. Here's a couple more in my house. Cups that I really like are obviously the ones that I use a lot. But historic, some tea bowls really are some of my favorites, although they don't have handles. They still fit in the idea around cups. These Kenzan pieces are pretty amazing to me because of the abstraction and narratives that are on the surface of them. But in contemporary cups, I really like Ron Nagel's work. Like this slide is an example of how he uses the cup as a sculptural object. Here's some good examples of surface work by Takeda, Mary Briggs, Suze Lindsay, and Steve Roberts. Here's some Mackenzie-Smith Cups. This is a puzzle jug or a cup, and you see how it's pierced through here. And you can only drink out of one of these. One of them works, and it's connected to this handle. Here's another Simon Levin. Here's some Kurt Weiser cups that use a cobalt painting decoration technique, and the imagery on there is all the way around the outside, and then you see on the lip it's really kind of like a language going on there. Here's a myolica piece by Posey Bakopoulos. These are some by Wayne, where they're showing that example of slip work that I've shown you. Here's a commercial cup with ceramic decals. This is Richard Knockin's work. See how, although you're throwing these cups, your ideas around hand building could be incorporated too. And then on this assignment, you're supposed to use roller textures. I made a little video that I sent you. Here's some examples of just balls that are embossing on the clay there. Kristen Kiefer is a contemporary artist who uses stamps a lot, and you can see how she's drawn them out, and then these are all clay stamps that then have to be fired. And then here's an example of her work that's showing it on the outside. She also uses slip work and some of that repetition and surface work that's coming off the surface is from slip. Here's some more stamping pieces. Here's some examples of texture rollers and stamps. Lisa Orr uses a piping kind of technique with a bag. Cut a hole in the end of the bag and just kind of squirt slip and draw that way. Joanne Axford's work is carved. Barbara Haast's work has slip work that's repetition like that on the surface. Donna's work here is the same thing, where it's carved and then repetitive stamping around the head. Adam Field does a lot of carving and uses celadons. Generally, I don't show my work too much, but here's some of mine with some slip work. These are really old soda fired. These are some older ones that are multiple fired. And this is my collection of cups. So I have a lot of cups. I'm just kidding. This is a cup show. So there's a lot of shows that revolve around the cup. And, you know, this is probably 50 or 60 different artists. This was a show I was in called The Intimate Object. And the cup is a real intimate object. It's one of those things that you put up to your lip, and, you know, as a potter, you have to think about how that feels, how it feels in the hand, and how it feels on the lip when one is drinking from it. The idea of handle attachment in this picture of Lewis Katz, he's a professor down in Texas. And I think that negative space was pretty funny, you know, to look at that against his face there, maybe looking at the profile of a cup. So there's all these different kinds of cups, and you have to think about what kind of cup you're making, from mugs to tumblers, which is what this assignment is. But there's chalices and tulips and Pilsner glasses and pint glasses and snifters, and all of these here happen to be more based on wine and beer. And of course, what you drink from it is something to think about. Your typical water glass or a juice glass might be a little smaller. So there's a lot for you to think about. This is just a little tip of the iceberg when it comes to cups. So if you have any questions, let me know.